What's up, guys? It's Mattycakes from Better Nike Bot Discord, and putting together a video for you guys just to kind of share my own personal setup of how I run Better Nike Bot. I've been getting a lot of questions, DMs from all over, all kind of groups and stuff like that, and in no way am I saying that I will cook every drop, but I have a pretty decent amount of success when I'm not being an idiot and forgetting to mark my Visa cards and leaving them as MasterCards like I did today, and took an L on the bread drop of all drops. But anyways, so here's a little video just to kind of walk you through from start to finish of how I set up with every drop. Hopefully this will help you guys with your setups, and hopefully lead to more cookouts for you guys. At least copying more pairs than you are now. So if you're copying 0, 1 pair, it's a W in itself. If you're copying 2, 4, whatever, hopefully this just helps in general. Before we get into it, I just wanted to kind of shout out a couple guys. Of course, Better Nike Bot, probably one of the most consistent bots over the years. Personally, I've been using them off and on for about a good maybe 2 years or so. I actually started off with the AIO bot well over, before I think it was the Yeezy bread drop was the first cookout I ever had, ever on any bot on foot sites. So Better Nike Bot, the devs, the team, again, real consistent. It's 2019. They've been around forever, and they're still here. And they're still banging it away. So shout out to the dev team, of course, as well as support staff. And then personally, just going to throw a couple other shouts. Of course, Hypewave, my team, great information, great help as far as bot setups and all that too. Fatal Proxies, that's who I use for my own personal proxy provider. There are data center proxies, yes. They do work on Nike, yes. And they are fast as fuck. So yeah, that's a lot of guys ask me that too, so that's who I use. And then of course my own cook group, my own little group, friends and family, shout out to them as well for my support. Before we get into the whole video portion of it, I just want to point out that Better Nike Bot does have a YouTube channel with a ton, well, I shouldn't say a ton, but a lot of good videos on there as far as setup goes, how to do stuff, and real great informational videos that you all should be watching before you start posting up questions in Discord, because a lot of times a lot of questions are just regurgitated, and it just gets real tiring answering the same questions over and over when a lot of the answers are right here in these videos. So watch them, see if that helps you out, and subscribe to the channel, and hopefully that answers a lot of questions that you may have had in the past. And then of course, obviously, Discord, drop a line in there too, and we can definitely help you guys out with your setups and whatever issues you may be having. All right, so let's get right into it here. So I'm not going to go through the whole downloading Better Nike Bot. Just kind of a heads up what I'm doing. I'm using it on is a UpCloud server. It is a 6 CPU, I believe, size, Chicago location, obviously, because my proxies are Chicago location. So that's what and it's a 2016 Windows server. So that's what I've been using it on. Kind of just started it, converted over from 2012. I heard good and bad things about 2016. So I figured I'd just try it out, and it's been pretty good. So first thing to get into is, of course, how to start your setup. So I always say, once you got your proxies, paste them here right off the bat. Paste all your proxies here. Of course, make sure you click off do not allot real IP to any account. You don't want your server IP or home IP, if you're running it off of your desktop, to be allowed to any account, because that could lead to obviously your server or IP getting clipped and banned, or your home IP. You don't want that. So once you got your proxies in here, I got 300 total here. hit OK, and it'll save. Now, as far as going to the import accounts and credit card functions, I've already kind of started it off in just to kind of give us a head start. Where are you? So I kind of created a BetterNakebot formatter for the video, just for this video, just to kind of show you. It's pretty standard stuff, pretty self-explanatory. There will be like a big box here with instructions on what to do when you go into the bot and hit import accounts format. This and this is your formatter of what you're going to be setting up for your profiles and credit cards and accounts and importing into BetterNakebot. So here I've gone through the instructions that are on the initial page, made my copy. Name your profiles that you're going to be saving in Nakebot. I keep it pretty simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. As far as billing name, if you're going to be using real credit cards, obviously use your real name, use your real address, real phone number, all that kind of stuff. Just keep that real. You want that to be authentic. In this demonstration, basically, I'm just going to be showing you how I set up with virtual cards. Whether it's Privacy, Citi, Bank of America, Capital One, whatever your virtual cards provider is. This is pretty much a universal setup in what I do. So I always jig, obviously, the first and last name. So by putting %F name % and %L name % into these fields, that will give you a random first name, random last name into the profile. So when the bot enters the account, random name goes into it. As far as address goes, this is more or less real Hawaii address. I have no idea where this is, but it is a real address. So obviously, input an address that you can have access to and get your shoes from. My jig, everybody's been asking me about jigging addresses and whatnot. My jig is real simple. I do the old-fashioned 3-letter jig in your address, and all that is simply %CHR for character 3 and %. You can put any number you want there, 2, 4, 8, whatever. 3 has been my bread and butter and has worked every time I've copped. I've gotten all my shoes shipped to the same address. So jig it as you want, but that's how I do it. I actually use another address of mine to jig. It's a house. It's just easier, I think, to jig. A lot of guys that live in apartments, it's kind of hard because you can't really jig an apartment, or else it's going to go to someone else's house or your neighbor's house and you won't get the shoe, possibly. But if you live in a house, I've heard guys that use the apartment and room and all kind of jigs for the billing address too. Which is fine, I guess, if it works. I've never really tried it very much, so do that at your discretion. Japan billing, obviously address. I haven't bought it in Japan, so I never got much use of that. Zip code, obviously zip code of where this address is. Now for phone number, I do jig my phone numbers. My area code in Hawaii is 808, and I just put 7 random numbers right after it, so that's %NUM 7. So it'll be your area code and then 7 random numbers, making a legit phone number. City, obviously, the billing address is in. State, I'm in Hawaii. Now over here, you're going to notice that it says if you want the shipping address to be the same as billing. I always mark this yes. It makes it a hell of a lot easier. To me, again, I have access to that particular address that I use, so I will always use yes. But I will explain what happens when you do mark it known, what you got to do. Now coming over here, pretty self-explanatory. Card type, if you have a Visa, put Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. Obviously fill those fields. For this example, I'm just using the same generic credit card number. It is a Visa, so that's why I have Visa all the way down. Your expiration month, year, credit card CCV, and that's it. Now coming back to the billing shipping address being different, that's where this comes in over here in these fields. So in these fields in the far right, obviously if the shipping and billing are going to be separate, you want to put the shipping information here, kind of same thing like you did originally over there. Japan, obviously, if you're going to use that. Shipping state, Japan shipping state, make sure you know which one to use. And of course, I think this is going to be your Japan shipping address. And last field over here is going to be your shipping method, which you can select from 2-day, next day, or standard. I live in Hawaii, so standard is pretty sufficient. Nike does ship pretty fast out here, surprisingly. So that's good enough for me, and it's free. You guys may want to obviously get your shoes faster, just for sake of reselling at StockX right away or whatever. So you can, change that field if you want to. I just again use standard shipping method. So basically, you put all your information in, copy all that. I have 25 profiles that I've set up. Now, obviously, your cards are likely not to be the same exact cards. You'll have all your different virtual cards or whatever inside here, so fill in those fields. Now, once you got everything set up, all you got to do, select cell A2, drag it all the way out, down to your last profile, right click and hit copy. Now you're ready to go. So you go back into the bot, you go to import, you'll click import from clipboard, CC from clipboard, that's what we just did. For again, sake of this demonstration, I've already done this already, but it'll confirm down here and have a pop-up that says all profiles have been imported. Now, if there is an error message, there's likely that there's something missing in one of your fields in your sheet, so go back and check it. Something is wrong. There may be a digit wrong or information missing, so check it. That's typically what's going to be the error. So once you get into there, now my accounts have all been, or I should say my profiles have been loaded. So we'll go ahead and open this guy up, and there you go. So exactly how I filled it in my sheet is now imported to the bot. And just to kind of give you an idea of what everything will look like, so random first name, random last name, the jigged address with 3 letters, random first phone number, 7-digit phone number, and of course my shipping address matches the billing, credit card information, and all that. So you're good to go. There's no field to select, 0 max checkouts or 1. So if you do want to change that, you'd have to go in manually to every profile and change it. I just leave it at 0. I had a theory of ratio of 1 to 1 to 1, which was 1 account, 1 proxy, 1 credit card. The credit card ratio has been kind of thrown out the window because guys do claim that they are able to cop with multiple accounts using the same credit card, so they'll get multiple charges on that single card and cop multiple pairs. So that's been confirmed, so that theory is kind of out the window. Reason why I will still follow my 1 to 1 to 1 is because there's just less flags, if you will, that will be thrown up to Nike. If they see, I don't know how their filtration really works, honestly, but I'm just thinking from there, and if they see 25 accounts being entered with 25 of the same card, to me that might throw a red flag, and boom, your entries are clipped, your orders under those accounts are clipped as well too. So just to kind of play it safe, I will always follow my 1 to 1 to 1 ratio. Alright, so now you get your profiles loaded up. You're going to want to do your account. So I haven't gotten to this yet, but again, you'll click import accounts format, which will bring up this. And again, you'll have a big box with instructions, and you got to make a copy and all that. And yeah, so there's that. So now I've created my own sheet, and was trying to use some old accounts, but I guess they're just crap accounts already, so I gotta use some of my newer accounts. Yeah, these are all my old accounts. So, okay, for this purpose, demonstration purpose, I'm gonna show you what it looks like when you're running crap accounts in Better Nike Bot, as far as tester and just in general, why a lot of these cookie creation issues come up. So I have tested these accounts. These are crap accounts. I run into account generation, cookie generation issues have run into it with it, but I'm just going to show you again for visual purposes. So again, crap accounts, we got it added in. Make sure your proxies are filled. Don't forget that. I always want to run enough proxies. Click check mobile verification, and what do you know? Could not generate cookies. I don't know if these aren't verified accounts anymore. Like I said, these accounts are from like last year, but I cannot generate cookies off of these accounts because they are now crap. So that may clear up some issues, questions that have come up, as that does come up a lot. But we'll go into my legit accounts. I've got 25 profiles, so again, I'm following my 1:1 ratio. I'm going to copy that. Go into the account checker. I'm going to paste it in here. Add accounts. Now watch what happens when you got good accounts and good proxies. Boom. How quick was that? No problems, no cookie generation issues, nothing. Good proxies, good accounts, that's the result. I've helped a lot of guys solve their problems strictly just by, changing their proxies around. Again, doesn't need to be what I use, just get yourself some good proxies, okay? I'm not going to make any suggestions, I'm not going to do any plugs for it. Look in Success Channel and Better Nike Bot. Look what those guys are using. Ask them. There you go. They're in Success for a reason, All right, so my accounts are verified. So we're gonna go back. You want to make sure obviously they're verified because you don't want to run accounts that have been unverified. Now that's just a waste of a spot, in my opinion. All right, so you're gonna go back into the Google Sheet for the account formatter. I'm going to paste in my 25 accounts. So this is something that I learned recently. So accounts format, or the account formats that are being sent from account providers, are in the email, double dot, whatever you want to call it, and password format. And everybody's like, oh, it's such a pain in the ass to have to separate them and all that. I just discovered like the super easy way. So when you paste your accounts, you're going to notice that down here, it's a formatting type deal. So it'll ask you split text to columns. So it'll ask you how you want to split the information that you've loaded into those cells. So basically what you want to do is you want to go down to custom. This is going to be your separator. And now your accounts are separated into the correct cells. So now you have an email address in its individual cells, passwords in its individual cells. There you go. Now I'm going to go into the rest of this. I mean, the rest is pretty self-explanatory. You can go 8, 9, 3, 11, random, whatever. I don't have a tried and true method of if specific sizing per task work better, or random works better. It's all trial and error, honestly. I've hit a ton of shoes with random. I've hit a ton of shoes with not a ton, but I've hit pairs with random, and I've hit pairs with size specific tasks. So that's really up to you how you want to do it. It's your own flavor. So I'm going to run a test, actually using a live test, using today's Drop the Bread There's a size 15 sitting there, so all 25 of my accounts are going to be hunting for that. Now, you want to obviously fill in the SKU, the correct SKU. Yeah, we don't care about those accounts. You want to use the correct SKU. Get out of here. So, what you could do is go to Tools, go to Sneaker Calendar, let that load up, and let's see, what was today, the 4th, so men's shoe. So you'll have the type of launch and information, drop time, and all that. So, use that. Double click it. Then go to start creating your task. I just simply copy this, click out of that, click out of that. Go back to my profile, my account formatter. I will copy that there. I will copy that there. Select both cells and drag. Now all accounts have been assigned to that particular SKU. If you're going to be running multiple SKUs and splitting your accounts, different colorway or something like that, change that up, copy it, and you can assign it to however many accounts you want. It's probably not recommended to run the same accounts twice on multiple SKUs. It's possible to do. I've done it in the past, but I haven't really had any really good results with it. So I just simply run one SKU. Now let's go into credit card profile. So just remember what you named your credit card profiles. And actually, if you want to do that, guess what? It's all right here. You copy all of that. Go back to your account formatter. Drag this down. Boom. And it's just that easy. Just that easy. Now, all your profiles that you've just loaded into Bread Nike Bot are now assigned to all your accounts. And you are ready to import your tasks. Or accounts, rather. That's what they call it. So you'll highlight that, again, from A2. Drag that down to the last cell that's input information. Copy. And import data. Import account from clipboard. And there you go. Tasks are ready to load. Style codes in there. Credit card checkout information has already been assigned. So you're ready to run. Now into actual what's up here. A lot of guys always ask me, what do I select? What do I do? Disable Twitter, obviously. You don't need that. I always select skip failed logins. Do not try and sold out. And email notifications, that really doesn't really matter. Up here, I always leave it in all, but if you're going to go for GS specific or men's sizes specific, then you may want to select that over the other, but I just use all. And of course, this is all your regions, so if you're obviously going to be going for a different region, do not forget to select the correct region when you're going to be running it. So let's just say we're going to go to Nike UK. So now I'm in UK sneakers GB, whatever you want to call it. And then you'll notice that sneakers calendar also updates to that region as well too. So yeah, make sure you're on the right region. But for this one example, we're going to go back to US. Alright, so we got pretty much everything set up to go. You can set up your Discord notifications if you want to. So I got mine in there. I'm actually going to delete this guy because yeah, up to you what you want to do in Discord notifications. I was advised to not send entry notifications because I actually got error messages because of that today. So it's better if you just select checkout notifications, and you can just watch your Discord for checkouts if you want to. Let's see, what else are you missing? edit all accounts, that's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to change size all of a sudden, style code, and all that. Now, I also wanted to kind of throw this out there. If you've got Ultimate like I do, the beautiful thing with it is you can open multiple instances. Now, when you open the second instance, it copies all the information that you've input into the first instance. Okay, you have the same cards, right? Same accounts. What I do is I make a completely separate proxies. So I wouldn't have 300 in here. If I have 25 accounts, I'd only have 25 in this one. And I'd have a different 25 set up in this one. So that way I have individual accounts running concurrently with individual accounts separately from the other instance as well too. So again, no bans. There's no risk of bans. You pretty much would set this up like a brand new Better Nike bot, except obviously you'll have different email accounts and different card information. Import all that from the new information that you set up, and now you have two instances ready to go. Around 25. The only reason why you may want to do this is obviously to help ensure that your accounts get entered in a timely fashion. If, for instance, you're running into cookie issues. Again, personally for me, I do not run into those issues. I owe that I owe that to my proxies and my account. So again, cookie issues, man, check your proxies, check your accounts. It's probably the reason why. I rarely ever run into those issues. All right, so let's just say we're going to be running one instance anyways on a Better Nike bot, and I'm going to show you. Well, you know what? Let's do something different. Let's go on a drop that hasn't happened. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when my accounts start getting logged in and go to waiting. Biggest complaint again I hear in Discord is, man, this thing's taking forever to generate cookies. Again, I just told you why. Boom, let's go for Travs. Let's go on standby already. That's what we're here for. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a mass edit of all my style codes. Paste Travis Scott ones. Sorry, it's late. And I'm going to start it. So I want you guys to watch this. Okay? Watch how fast this is. This is only 25 accounts. So I'm going to hit start. Logged in. Boom. Waiting. A lot of guys ask me, oh, when do you start your task, Matt? When do you try and start running stuff? The past, I've actually started in like the last 20 seconds before drop, I don't need to generate those cookies that long, or however long they recommend to start it. In any case though, it's always good to start early and just have if you have slow proxies or whatever the issue may be with your setup, at least by drop time, if you started farther ahead enough, cookies have been generated and it just goes to waiting for product. So that's what it should look like when you have a pretty decent setup. All right. Let's go back to, what was the SKU? Shucks, hang on, sorry. You can also find the SKU in StockX as well. So you can actually go here, copy that, get out of there, and paste that. And we're good. So again, there is a size 15 that is live on sneakers. So we're just going to do a quick test on what the task and processing looks like and the log with a live product. So here we go. Task logged in, generating tokens. Oh, you know what my error was? I'm an idiot. Yeah, some of you have probably caught that already. It's all good. Random, if you do it, make sure it's caps. Such an idiot. Make sure it's caps. Can't be a lowercase. So let's try this again one more time. All right, there you go. Entry already exists, so actually, the reason for that is I did run these accounts today. Looks like I got one in there. Oh, that's one that didn't get entered. Huh. I was running some errors on this today too. I forget what error it was. Non-winner. Really? Well, just to kind of give you an idea, that's what it'll look like. Waiting for result, generating tokens. Looking at that email. Let's see, what's our timestamp here? 8:21. Let's find the account. 8:21. So this is your timestamp here for that account from logging in. Errored out obviously because I had entry limit exceeded to, let's say, what was the last spot? Oh, to my result. Well, it probably won't take that long. It takes longer than that, obviously, but to waiting for result. Check that timestamp. All right, so again, that's pretty much how a lot of my tasks look. Let's try this again with a different product that's just kind of sitting on sneakers. So let's try. I don't know why. You put me into entry for that. Sorry. So let's go. Oh no, that never dropped yet. In stock. That's why I can't find anything. So let's try for these bricks, cap and gown. So let's go cap and gown. There we go. Good Lord. I don't know what's wrong with people. Retail's at 200 and jeez. But anyways, we'll copy the style code. Sorry. And go back here. We'll switch up the SKU. I'll try for something different. So let's try this again. So business process errors, that basically means it was having problems submitting the information. Obviously I have fake information in there, so my requests are getting rejected, obviously. You can see order numbers, payment failed. So you get the general idea of how that works. Clear that out. Alright, so that's pretty much how I set up my Better Nike bot. Trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing, but hopefully this helps you guys out. Yeah, it's really not that hard. I mean, a lot of guys and users say, "Oh my gosh, this is so confusing. This is so hard." It's really easy once you kind of get the flow of everything. It's really easy to set up. It's not that hard, once you get used to the Google Sheets. So I'm gonna always say this too. Even if you strike out using this method, or keep plugging away, man. Learn from every drop, tweak it, try something new, see what works, see what doesn't. I've been doing this for, well, a lot more, like in the last year. attempting botting for over 2 years easily. Not much success, but I've only been finding success recently because I've surrounded myself with some good people that kind of helped me out a lot and taught me some ways. So yeah, man. Uh, Again, hopefully this helps you guys out and get you guys set up for the Trav drop, and hope to see you guys in success. All right, thanks.